The man is in an ancient warehouse that has been abandoned for many years. Found an abandoned one. 1989 Chevrolet Camaro IROC-Z Roadster. After many years, the door of the warehouse can no longer be opened normally. Drill into the warehouse. It's full of debris. There is also a thick layer of dust on the car body. But the part that has never been covered by dust, it can be seen that the paint on the body is fairly well preserved. Pick up the cap. I sniffed it closely. A wave of acid implanted in the forehead hit the face. And look down. The tires of the car have come off. He opens the door, and the steering wheel was rusted. So far, no important parts have been found missing. But the car keys are still in the engine compartment. So Peak decided to open the door completely. Good to pull it out with a trailer. According to the neighbors, the owner of this car has long since passed away. He has been parked here since 1997. It's equivalent to being ownerless. After opening the door, go back to the warehouse. Ripped off the tape used to cover the rear window. However, due to the long time, it was torn off along with the car paint. You don't have to think about it. In addition, never mind that. The internal condition of the car is not optimistic. Start trying to pump in a flat tire. Fortunately, tires are leaking much faster than inflated models. The wheels begin to swell. Shoveled off excess dirt. Pete put the jack on and got under the car. Place the scale in advance. Another falling tire. He first sprayed some accelerant, then used the bow of fire to make it recover quickly. So you can bring the trailer over now. Put this one. The old car that has been covered in dust for many years is pulled out little by little. After tossing for more than half an hour at the narrow exit, finally stabilize the car. Set up and tow away someone's car. Peak still came back and gave the broken door too. Push back in place. No words all the way. It was already night when I returned to my yard. Early the next morning, the first thing Peak has to do is to clean this old car. First blow off the surface with an air compressor. Attached garbage, especially some gaps. Hidden a lot of dirt. Same thing in the cabin. The soundproof cotton on the hood is tattered. Just tear it off here. There is also a lot of garbage in the engine compartment, except for dust. It is mainly the rations hidden by some small animals. Think about when those little guys go back to the warehouse again. It might feel like the sky is falling. You can also see it from here. Some pipes in the cabin have been bitten off. So we need a vacuum. Dispose of the contents of the cabin. The last thing is to rinse with a high-pressure water gun. As the water slides by, the bright colors of the car are revealed. And the whole thing looks pretty well preserved. Still shiny after many years. But if you look carefully, it can also be seen. In fact, the oxidation of the paint surface is very serious. The back of the car. There's already a big piece of rust. The inside of the car is also terrible, since the previous warehouse was relatively humid. So the internal rust is serious. Then he opened the suitcase. Although there is no garbage in it, but the taste is really good. We have some more tools in the toolbox on the left. On the right, they found a moldy spare tire. Rusty high-pressure inflatable tank was also found in the car. I had the mentality of giving it a try. I didn't expect the effect to be surprisingly good. Peak removed all the useless stuff in the car. Only the seat is left. And then vacuum it. Finally, don't forget to clean up the dusty dashboard. Finished cleaning the whole vehicle. That's to reopen the hood. The original pillar has been badly corroded. It's cheap anyway. Choose direct replacement here. We got the hood. Peak pushed the car into the garage and put it on the elevator. You can see it from here. The condition under the car is much better than he imagined, although there is a lot of rust, but didn't find much rot. This is the luck of misfortune. The more serious ones are some YouTube and brake insurance. These will need to be replaced later. Here he is. By the way, put the fuel at the bottom. Filter removed. The fuel that comes out of it. It gives off a foul odor. Then remove the fuel return line. Attach it to a bottle. So when testing the oil pump, it doesn't pump some garbage into the machine. Pick to turn the crankshaft manually. The surface is just corroded by rust and not stuck. Go to the cabin and pull out the grain and oil dipstick. It contains enough oil. It just looks like it's in poor condition. In addition, transmission fluid and brake fluid can also be used temporarily. It is not too late to replace it after confirming that it can be started. So he takes the power and he plugs it in. Come to the cab. The dashboard is already lit. The hidden door lock also responds, and then he turns the key. There was a problem in the cabin immediately. Get off for inspection. The fuel pump is still working. There's not a lot of dirt coming out of the fuel. So he pumped out the old fuel. Red fresh fuel. Then took out the spark tester. Sparks can also be seen flashing through the boot test. Peak sprayed some starter fluid and started again. This time the engine already has signs of skin care. It's just that the fan is making a strange noise. Tell Peak he needs lubrication. Then he cleaned the injectors again, because there is some grease in it. In addition, through the startup just now, he also found that the exhaust pipe had been blocked. So Peak just started disassembling. See which part is blocked. The first is the silencer. Although there are some dried fruits and rust residue in it, but it wasn't blocked. He can only continue to disassemble and test. This time, he finally found the problem. This filter has been thoroughly poisoned with soot. Just choose to throw it away here. So Pick starts the engine again. I didn't let you make a mistake this time, with a puddle of smoke. The car started successfully. I just found out. Not all cylinders are running. He had to check and troubleshoot one by one. Since there is no major problem with the engine, Peak then went under the car and emptied the car of oil and water. In addition, the oil filter also needs to be replaced. During this time, he also stopped by the nearby store, bought some stainless steel pipes to go home and weld the exhaust. After installing the new filter, new oil was added. Peak starts the engine again. This time, all the cylinders have been deformed. The sound waves are also obviously different from before. And look on the dashboard. The speed and oil pressure are also normal. Then he welded the exhaust pipe by himself. Here we go to start checking the braking of the car. He removes the wheel before removing the brake card. Uses a pneumatic screw gun to release the internal piston. In addition, he also found that the brake hoses were clogged. Peak judgment. It is most likely caused by the rust of this clip. So he started cutting it carefully. After a little press, sure enough, the hose started to have liquid coming down. After reinstalling the tires, he gave it a try. It's basically fine now. This also means that it is time to go out for a test drive after Pick starts the car slowly out of the garage. Started having fun on the nearby road. But he didn't dare to drive too fast, because he sensed something was wrong with the suspension. However, he is very satisfied with the driving experience of this car. Even after all these years, his performance is still good. Hidden danger after half an hour. And I went home, parked the car in the yard. Now Peak is going to try to put the roof away. He loosened the lock, pressed the trunk switch, but the trunk that houses the ceiling doesn't pop out. It should be that the anklet inside is rusted and stuck. So he started banging and banging, but it's useless. In the end, it still works a miracle. That opened the trunk, successfully put away the ceiling, transformed into a sleek roadster. Pete couldn't help but drive him out. Wandered around. It's not too cool to be basking in the sun and blowing in the wind. Make him like this car more and more. If there is no top gifter to buy later, he also plans to fix it well. At that time, it will definitely be a rare car. So here we go, this 1989 Chevrolet. The rescue of Camaro IROC-Z is over. Favorite old irons, double-click and follow. I wish you all the best in your favorite car.